brings a fresh and alternative OS that connects everything. This installment brings you Watch Face Part 2. This part revolves around the operation of the watch. Open up the previous watch face project in the Tizen Studio where we left off Watch Face Part 1. In the app data structure, put the image objects that need to be controlled. This includes the weekday, moon, hour hand, minute hand, and second hand. With a change in the struct variable, reflect those to access its members and delete redefinition. Now we need a function that would be responsible for getting the current time and making necessary changes to the objects on the watch. We can modify the update watch function to suit our needs. Clean it up first by removing the excess parameters, this character area definition, and all of these conditional statements. Also inside this function, I'll instantiate the watch time handler, define integers for day, hour, minute, second, and hour 24. I'll also call the functions to get the current time and the rest of the integers we just defined. We'll add more stuff to this function later on. Now skipping on to other stuff first. In the app create function, right before the return value, call the update watch function. First watch element we need to take care of is the day of the week. This basically determines which day it is with an integer and loads the path of the image. Create a function for this matter, and I'll name it update the day, and it will take an integer for the day as an argument. Use variable to contain the resource path and another to store the exact path of the PNG file. Once the image source is obtained, set the image of the weekday member of the data structure. Now go back to the update watch function and call update the day before the function ends. Next element is the moon. Its movement is influenced by the hour in the 24-hour format. The image will be rotated by computing the current hour into its equivalent in degrees. We'll create another function for this. We'll also be using a map to alter the geometry of the object, hence its rotation. Create a pointer for the map and instantiate it with evasMapNew with 4 as a parameter to represent the points on the map. Populate the map exactly like the object with this function. And now you're ready to rotate it. The parameters of the rotate function include the map, the amount of degrees from 0 to rotate, and the rotation center horizontal and vertical positions. To reflect the rotated map, set it back to the moon object, enable it, and free the allocated map. like the update the day function, call this inside the update watch function. Now it's time to move the watch hands. This is basically the skeleton of the move the moon function, so I'll go ahead and duplicate that right here. Now instead of move the moon, I'll call it move the hand. This will take in a hand object and the degrees for rotation as parameters. Instead of using the moon object, use the hand object parameter and set the rotation center positions to the center of the screen. Now going back to the update watch function, call the move the hand function 3 times. First is for the hour hand object, second is for the minute hand object, and third is for the second hand object. All of the watch's movements have been taken care of, but we still need to update it every second. Note that the watch apps have 2 modes. First is the normal mode, and the other is the ambient mode. Looking at these functions, the app ambient tick function is called at least once per minute when the app is in ambient mode. Since it's not part of our design, I'll leave this empty. And finally, the app time tick function is responsible for the changes that need to be done in the normal mode, for which we'll be calling the update watch function, passing on a single argument. Time to reinstall the watch app. Then launch it manually in the emulator. There you have a personalized watch face. And that was watch face part 2. For more information on the Tizen OS, go to the links found on the description below.